My name is Dina Reed, and I am the current mayor of Harrisonburg. I grew up here, and I went to Harrisonburg High School. But before my day, Black students in Harrisonburg and the surrounding counties went to separate schools. Back in the day, they went to the Effinger Street School, and then from the 1930s through the 60s, they went to the Lucy F. Sims School, which is now the Lucy F. Sims Continuing Education Center. Lucy F. Sims was a woman who was born enslaved, raised on a plantation in Harrisonburg, and then after the end of slavery, went on to get her education at the Hampton Institute alongside Booker T. Washington. She returned to Rockingham County to teach over 1,800 students across 3 generations, including many of my own relatives, and to become one of the most celebrated educators in the state. For a long time, the history of Lucy F. Sims and the school named in her honor lived in the memories of our elders. But in 2015, an exhibit celebrating this history was unveiled in the Lucy F. Sims Center for Continuing Education. The exhibit was a collaboration between 56 community partners and students and professors from James Madison University. Today, I am proud to unveil a version of that exhibit here in Harrisonburg High School.
The exhibit tells the story of education in the Black community in Harrisonburg from after the Civil War until the present day. It builds on the photographs and research of many local historians, including Bill Harper, Doris Harper Allen, Ruth Tolliver, Robin Lytle, Dale McAllister, and many others. We learn about the life of Miss Sims, the amazing creativity and quality of the education that students received at the Lucy F. Sims School, and we learn about the many ways in which the school played a central part in the lives of families in the northeast neighborhood of Harrisonburg and beyond.
Having this important exhibit here in the central atrium will help our current and future students understand our shared history here in Harrisonburg and in the counties beyond. For a long time, African American history has been separate and secondary, and there's a state effort to correct that. We will put many hours into rewriting curriculum and figuring out how to put African American history accurately in the center of our curriculum.
So we're very excited about the exhibit being here in the building because now we have the ability of students just to go downstairs and learn about the impact of Miss Sims and learn about the history of education in our area. And many of our kids have parents, grandparents, and other relatives that are part of this exhibit. And so when students are able to internalize the history, it becomes much more meaningful and valuable for them.
The sacrifices and what impact she had on generations of kids. The impact of what she did for the community was late coming. I'm very proud that this exhibit now will just improve or increase on her legacy.
The exhibit continues to be open to the general public at the Sims Center for Continuing Education on the website and as a traveling exhibit. The unveiling of the exhibit here at Harrisonburg High will ensure that students for generations to come will know of Miss Sims and the extraordinary history of education and resilience in our community.